explain to me what comes to mind when you hear the words Australia Day.
Oh God. Australia Day.
Oh, Australia Day.
Australia Day. Abused, ignored, ignorant, invasion comes to mind.
Disgusted, really, that everyone celebrates that sad day for us.
Survival Day, Remembrance Day.
I hear the words Australia Day, it's Survival Day for Indigenous people.
It's really sad that people can't even understand that it's such a hard day. It's a day of mourning more than a day of celebration.
To us Indigenous people, that's a day for us to mourn and talk to each other and be there for one another. But it's hard when you have people out there celebrating the day and just not thinking of it from our point of view.
Anger. It's disappointing that that day is celebrated on a day that should be a mourning day and a remembrance day.
That was the start to where a lot of our ancestors were wiped out, where culture was taken away from us.
So it's a day of mourning for us, and it feels like a slap in the face that the rest of Australia wants to celebrate this day as a day of unity and expect us to be a part of it. And shut up about it, but no.
It's a free Labor Day, and not looking at the history of it and how we feel about it.
It was the start of something that's still going on today, the slaughter of our people, our culture, language, it's something that we all struggle with every day, so let alone celebrating it on the day that it all started.
So yeah, our connection was broken. It's sad really, emotional to think that all that's gone.
Makes me just feel a bit anxious. The thought, we're not even in the week yet, and the thought of being off social media for that day has already crossed my mind, because reading the harsh things, the ignorance, the racism, you can really feel it.
It makes me a bit sad because I know there's so many people I know go out and celebrate it when it's not a day to be celebrated.
We don't celebrate it. It's just about me educating everyone who asks me why I don't celebrate it or what it means. We're just at home, we don't have anything to do with it. It's just a normal day for us. At Waminda we just work, we don't support it. It's changed the date for us. But yeah, no, we have no support in that at all.
We now use that day as a day of mourning, and we don't recognise it as a celebration at all. We are at work, continue this is not a public holiday at all. So we will recognise our own celebration day a later day in the year.
We want to feel included instead of feeling sad on a day we're meant to celebrate our country.
We don't celebrate.
There's no other countries in the world that do celebrate on the day that they were invaded, and how that still means that there's systemic racism.
You feel those harsh comments and stuff like that, they're not just text from, for a social media platform. They're things that people are actually saying that had happened to our people in the past.
Really, you're just celebrating mass slaughter and rape. It's disgusting, really.
Breaks my heart to see that, still to this day people turn a blind eye to it, and people chuck parties and drink and celebrate it.
It just all comes down to privilege and white supremacy. It's not a day to celebrate at all. Why won't you choose to even understand where we're coming from. Why is it so hard? Why are you so against it?
We don't feel we can celebrate that day. We don't want to celebrate that day. So why can't you pick another day?
Just to educate, you know, just ask the elder, ask the community member, you know, just research anything you can, just about what happened on this day. Like, we lost our culture, you know, we got colonised, dispossession of land, everything in between, and we're still here as a strong culture. So to just educate themselves and to realise why we have this feeling of this day and why we're all like this, rather than to judge.
Do research, history, and yeah, gain more knowledge of the past and Australia's history.
Understand like how you can be so proud to celebrate a day like that, where so many people were killed and children and, you know, families and people were broken apart.
Just take 1 second to acknowledge the past.
It would be recognising that it is that day for us, meaning that it is a day of mourning, and that's what it should be. And recognising that there were those frontier walls, like they've just completely disappeared from history. So being able to acknowledge that and change the date, change people's opinions, educate them on the issue, I think that will mean a big change moving forward.
To have that date changed will bring us as a country together, like include our First Nations people. So to bring us and our non-Indigenous people together to change the date, I think that would be a big recognition for our country.
It would be good for us to be able to celebrate Australia Day as a whole country on a different day. It would be good to be able to get along and everyone be able to celebrate, one day for our country.
It would just feel so like amazing that we're able to celebrate Australia Day on a day that we can all celebrate it. It's not only that we would be able to celebrate it, it would feel good to celebrate it happily as a whole entire country, because we still acknowledge that, you know, you are people of Australia today, because, you know, you were born here, you lived here your whole life. We just want to be acknowledged of that as well as Australia's First Nations people.
It'll mean a lot, I think, just knowing that, like, a bit of Australia showing that bit of respect.
I think not only to me, but for every Indigenous person, it would feel so liberating, like we've finally been understood and heard, which is really all we want.
You know, this day, 1788, which is years ago, we're still, you know, Indigenous people still having to voice why we feel like this, what makes us feel like this. Like, we're in 2021 and Indigenous people are still having to be the voice to rally on this day all over the country, and it does divide us, and it's just about time that we need to be heard, and that you know, our culture got dispossessed and we're here and we're still here and we always will be here, and that it just needs to be educated all across the country again.